year since COVID's been around and all that stuff.
Hello everyone, I'm Angela.
I'm Kalena.
My name is Bryan.
I'm Matthew, and this is EarthListening Off Air.
Yep. And then so today we have a special guest with us, which is one of our members, Matthew. And then today we're just talking about reflection on 1 year in quarantine. So we entered quarantine, I think, on March 13th last year, 2020. And then we're reaching the first year in quarantine. We're just going to reflect about what our new ideas, our thoughts about quarantine. Has anything changed? Did our attitude change?
Before we went to quarantine, we got news about the virus December of 2019, if I remember clearly. So it's basically almost been kind of an year since COVID's been around and all that stuff. Yeah, anything new for you guys? I want to start with what is your attitude about quarantine?
I remember when March 13th, I remember school, the ABC Unified District just announced that we were gonna have 2-week vacation. And I remember being really excited because I was like, ooh, 2 weeks off. But then it kept on, dragging on and on. Now here we are. So I feel like at the beginning I was really excited, but now not so much.
Definitely. I would say the same thing. I remember vividly during my 5th period, which happened to be MUN, all my classmates were just excitedly talking about, oh my god, did you hear that there's an emergency meeting in the school district talking about whether we're going to go virtual. And I remember that same day during CHTV, so it was basically our school announcement. Mr. Walker, our principal, he went on CHTV and said, we are not closing our school. And I was just thinking how sad it was. I'm like, man, there's schools closing all throughout the country and then we're not closing. But then after the emergency meeting during lunch, I was like, yes, we're finally going home. It's going to be winter break again. And then I was saying bye to everyone, oh, see you 2 weeks later. But then it became a year, so that was crazy.
You know it's serious when they ask us to clean out our lockers. Going off to what Kalena and Angela both said, yeah, I thought it was a break for me personally, but then as months drone by and then summer, I realized that there's really almost nothing going on, and life is actually more boring when you're not at school. So definitely.
To add on to what you guys all said, of course, we were all happy in the beginning. And then, we had a 2-week vacation, but then school restarted online and things just got pretty tough, because it'd be really hard to contact the teachers if you had questions, grade problems. And so, we managed to finish the year quite smoothly, but exactly as what Bryan said, during the summer, I realized we really got nothing to do. We're going to be juniors, and we got the SAT, we got the APs to take, and I kind of got worried because the COVID situation wasn't getting any better. It's gotten better now, but I'm still kind of worried another outbreak happens.
Definitely.
When quarantine just started, did you guys have any struggles with adapting to the changing environment or learning virtually, not being able to hang out with friends? Was there any struggle in the transition of the lifestyle in quarantine?
For me personally, yeah, because it's weird if you think about it, just because you pretty much spend your whole life around people. I still go to school with people I've known since kindergarten, and then I realized that this is the longest I've gone my entire life without seeing them.
I had no problems transitioning. You get to sleep in, it's easy classes. You go from 5 classes a week to 2, maybe 1, or maybe even none at all.
Yeah. For me, it was a break because quite the contrary, during the school year, sophomore year, I've been more sleep deprived and I've been thriving off of 2 hours a day sometimes. I don't go home till 7 because of drama and all that. So when we had the 2 weeks, I really treated like a vacation, being able to sleep in and wake up and do lectures whenever I wanted to, really. So I had no problem adapting, but throughout the 2 weeks of quarantine, I treated it as a break, so I didn't do any work, so my grades did kind of go a little bit down. yeah, but no problem for me. What about you, Angela?
For me, I would say most of the part, like academically, I was able to adapt pretty quickly. Like I was able to just be on top of things, do homework. I never really had a trouble like not doing homework. But then like kind of with Kalena's, like you don't see people anymore. So it's just like at sometimes the depression, not depression, but like just the loneliness hits you. You're like, wow, like I feel so lonely. So I feel like that part kind of took a longer time to get used to. Like for example, the first I would say like first half year of quarantine, I was just like I kept on I couldn't get over the fact that I couldn't see my friends or like couldn't see them as often. I mean, originally we would like go to like birthday party events, but we'll, like distance ourselves. But then after like the 6 months, like COVID continued, and that was a point where my parents didn't allow me to go outside to meet with friends, even for birthday parties. So like that was like when I like like I was like trying to get over the fact that I couldn't see anyone at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Speaking of friends and like interactions, have you guys gotten used to quarantine? And if so, how are you guys treating these personal issues, like not being able to see friends? Because we've already been in quarantine for almost an year. There should be some sort of progress or change for everybody.
I would say for me, I don't know. It's just like after I think maybe at the 8 month mark or seven, yeah, 8 month mark, 9 month mark, I just got used to it. Like not seeing friends, like it kind of like just the feeling, the sad feeling just died down. I don't know if that sounds sad or, but it's just like I guess I got desensitized to like not hanging out. So like I'm just like a dull person. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me anymore. But yeah.
For me, usually my friends and I will just FaceTime every now and then. But I think what Angela said, you know, I feel like everyone's sort of adjusted and we've all sort of gotten used to isolation and everything. So yeah.
That sounds so depressing, but it's like the truth. But
Well, for me, it doesn't really matter because like I usually get home pretty late, and I gotta start homework at like 8, so I really don't have time to call my friends and stuff. So it really didn't impact me that hard. And also because I live with my cousins, so I could still talk to people, and like you guys. So the loneliness didn't affect me that much. And I mean, schedule wise, of course, I've gotten used to quarantine, sleep late and like you could sleep into, and then we got Wednesdays off. I mean, it's pretty nice.
For me, yeah, I got quite used to being by myself and all that, so I've been picking up on some new habits like reading. Um, I've been reading this book called Misbehaving. It's a book about economics, and I think it's a pretty nice drive for me to kind of dig into majors, I know business, how to manage money and all that. I think it's a pretty interesting hobby I've adopted in replacement of going out hanging out with people. Definitely. So yeah.
mm, kind of going off of the thing, like we kind of adapted to being alone. Like just out of curiosity, like are you guys more like introverted or extroverted? So I feel like I've seen those like comments in YouTube where they're like, "Oh, introverts like quarantine's nothing to us. We do this every day." So I mean, personally for me, I'm more like an introverted person, but like it did take some time for me to get used to like not hanging out with friends.
I don't really I think for me I'm like right in the middle. Like I usually say that I'm ambiverted because I like being around people and that's usually where like I get most of my energy from. And then when I'm alone, I feel a lot more sluggish and like lethargic and not as energized. So like at the same time though, I kind of like the whole isolation thing because I did have a lot more time to myself unlike before. So I got to do I got to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do during school, like watching more movies or reading, like Bryan said. So I think there are pros and cons to quarantine. It just depends on what kind of person you are.
I'd say I'm a little bit more on the introverted side because although I'm also energetic around people, it's around people that I know. If it's around strangers, then I just feel awkward and comfortable. So I'm I'm more towards the Angela side, not really towards Kalena. So yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan, about you?
For me, I don't know if I can justify this, but I'm really extroverted and where I would consider myself extroverted. I don't know why, but there's this thing where when you meet new people, you just really want to get to know them. So for me, like, what better way to start a conversation to get to know people by bringing out like this much energy and seeing if we can like kind of elevate it or, if it will die down. Yeah. Because I think meeting people is a crucial part of communication in terms of like a communication skill. When you go out in the real world, you have to talk to a bunch of different people. So being able to be extroverted will definitely give other people to gravitate towards your energy. So yeah.
True. Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like that's definitely extroverted.
Any new habits for you guys, hobbies or like little self-discoveries, little things you didn't know about yourself before quarantine that you do now?
I tried crocheting for like a week. I got, all the supplies and everything from Walmart, but it didn't last long. I don't know. I tried it, but I just couldn't do it. It just didn't work out. So then I sort of started reading, which is really good. But they're kind of the books that I've been reading since like third grade. Like I reread the Hunger Games series 3 more times in the past like 2 months, which is really pathetic, but those are like the books I gravitate more towards.
Yeah, I could relate. I mean, I I have like this series where I loved since like elementary school, and it's called the School for Good and Evil. I don't know if you guys know it, but I've always loved that series ever since fifth grade. So like I kind of like Kalena, I kind of like reread it when I have time, but like recently I haven't been able to because with like just work and stuff like that. And then I also picked up a new hobby. So I bought calligraphy brush pens during like Christmas time. And then I just, yeah, practiced doing calligraphy. I'm not the best. It's kind of getting there, but like it's pretty fun. I'm like, like I really like the part where quarantine allows you to have more time for yourself to like explore new hobbies or do new stuff, or cook, bake, roller skate, dance, paint, whatever. So yeah.
I mean, I also went back and read some books, but I discovered that I didn't know that I could get so pissed off at other people in a game. Like, since I had too much time, so I just started playing games all day, and I realized that I really shouldn't be doing this because I'd be so angry at them, And I also discovered that too much time, too much free time for me caused me to be lazy. So I kind of think that's a little bit downside of quarantine and like shortened schools. So, but I didn't really develop any new habits. I mean, I started looking into the stock market, because it started soaring after COVID got a little bit better. So I'm trying to make some money.
Oh.
Um, okay, well, for me, I recently downloaded Duolingo so I can learn a new language, and I wanted to choose German. Funny thing, when I went on the app, and all the first words they taught me was alcohol, wine, and like coffee, and how to say it in German. And after that, like just like everyone else, I kind of gave up on German. So right now, the only thing I know how to say in German is alcohol and wine. So
Why
How do you
German?
say? How do you say it? How do you say it?
it's okay. So the entire sentence is coffee and wine, please. And if you say that, it'll be Kaffee und Wein bitte. Bitte means please, not less. So yeah, that's the only sentence I know. And why German would be because I don't know, there's so much about that country. It's like I don't know if people will have like a negative reaction when they hear the word German because of the past, like history, but German has like this sort of scenic beauty to it. And the people there I heard are like incredibly friendly. So definitely kind of a country to worth looking into. I have a question about regarding like family life for quarantine. Because as students, we usually spend 1/4 of our day at school and all that. We talk to friends. With quarantine, we're basically stuck seeing our family members every single minute and all that, or every single hour of the day. Do you guys ever get tired or feel disconnected from your family, or do you guys feel more closer to them?
Well, for me, like usually during school, I would feel a lot more disconnected with my family just because, I had a lot of extracurriculars, so I would get home at like 8 or something, and then usually at that time I'd be really tired and I didn't want to talk to anyone and just go to my room and start homework. But then over quarantine, I definitely feel like I got a lot closer with my family just because, number one, I got a lot more sleep and I didn't really have anything else to do. So we would watch shows together and everything like that. So that was cool.
Yeah, for me, yeah, I would definitely agree with Kalena. I'm in the same boat as her. Like during school, like regular school, it was just like going to school and then coming back home late or even in the afternoon, but my parents won't come back until like evening. So it's like this huge chunk of like the day is just not seeing your family. So definitely I would say quarantine strengthened the family bond and ties. And then like I don't know about you guys, but I don't really get into arguments that much with my family, like even without quarantine. So I guess that's just like a bonus because that means no. And like there was no more like arguments. There were no arguments during quarantine. Yeah, I don't remember any arguments, but maybe just like minor ones. But like, yeah, I don't usually argue with parents, so that's also a benefit of being in quarantine because I don't get into arguments with them. And then I would say, but like I have a sibling and an older sister, so I feel like because we're constantly under the same roof and then we're just like constantly interacting, I think we got into more arguments during quarantine though. With like family, like parents wise, it's pretty chill.
For me, I think I've gotten closer to them physically. Like, we aren't really there because everybody's on their computer, even though they might be just sitting like 5 feet away from you. We're all on our computers, on our phones, even doing homework, watching YouTube, playing games. So I think even though we're closer physically, we're not really, like, we're actually kind of distancing ourselves by using a lot of technology and not like talking to each other. Because when we still went to school, like personally, I'd be able to talk to my family, when we were in the car, when we get off, go to places. But now none of that's happening, so I don't think we're really getting closer.
I feel like there's still that aspect of while we're at home, we still have to spend most of our days in our room at the internet doing homework. So even if you wanted to interact with your parents, there's like that school part and there's like that work and personal life kind of like blocking you from communicating really well. So for some people, definitely. But yeah, this is really short. When do you guys think quarantine will end?
I don't know. Well, I know, everyone's getting the vaccines and everything, so that's a good sign. But I feel like it'll still be a while. I feel like maybe next year, hopefully next year, we might go back to school part-time. But even then, we'll have to like wear masks, and it'll probably be like hybrid for the first semester. But I don't really know.
I think it's by the end of the school year if it no longer mutates. But I mean, recently it just mutated already once.
I would say, yeah, similarly to like Matthew and Kalena, I think we're probably going to go back to school like during the beginning of senior year. I mean, we're all juniors here, so senior year. Probably just like hybrid sort of stuff going on, distancing, masks, all that stuff. And then maybe we'll return back to what was normal, maybe like during the spring of 2022, somewhere around there. So I guess overall, it's just like quarantine was definitely an unprecedented experience, or yeah, kinda, but like it was very unexpected. We all didn't see it coming. I mean, there was a new normal that we had to adapt to, whether it's easy or not. But hopefully, in the near future, we're able to go outside again, hang out with friends again, but safely. Hopefully, the vaccine is effective and the mutants are not too bad. And then, yeah, basically, quarantine, I would say the overall word would be just adaptation, adapt to the different changes. Yeah, we'll just go on from here and see how it goes. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to our 1 year reflection of quarantine. We're still surviving, we're thriving, we're managing, we're hanging in there. But yeah, okay. See you guys later in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram at EarthLinking Official. Check out our website on Instagram located in the link in our bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at EarthLinking Team. Donate to our GoFundMe located in the description box below. This is Earth Listening. See you in the next episode.